I genuinely love being single. I think when I share that, a lot of people tend to think that I'm overcompensating or even lying, but I can confidently say with my full chest that I have gotten to the place at 29 years old, having been in serious relationships before, where I love being single. Today, I'm going to give you the older sister advice that I wish someone had given me when I was a little bit younger to help me kind of get to the place I'm at now. So if you're watching this and thinking to yourself like, wow, I wish I had that mindset, or I'm curious what that would feel like. For starters, it's great. It takes work to get here, but once you're here, it's amazing. And secondly, this video is for you. So if you're brand new, I'm Maddie. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, definitely make sure to subscribe. I'm on a mission to post once a week, so more things will be headed your way. So today I thought I would share these steps you can take to get to that place as well. I also just so happen to be filming this on Valentine's Day, hence the red sweater and heart necklace. And I guess that like played a little bit into my more so spontaneous desire to make this video. That, and I did just make an Instagram post last week, I'll put it here, that was basically like, I love being single and still long for a partner, and I got a few DMs that it really resonated with people, so I decided let's talk more about the topic. So let's get into these steps you can take, and the first one actually has to do with the Instagram post, and that is knowing that two things can be true at once. I think for a long time I felt like I either had to long for a relationship or love being single, and it was like either or, like they could not be happening at the same time. And truthfully, nothing in life is black and white like that. Two things can and oftentimes are happening at the same time. I've gotten to a place, like I said, where I love being single. I love doing things on my own and adventuring off, and I've gotten to a place where I feel really confident in my ability to explore solo. And I've still had moments where I've longed for a partner. Thinking about two in particular, I've been dealing with some health things when it comes to my arthritis, and the combination of like getting tests done and results and like going on new medication has just been very overwhelming. And I've realized this is the first time I'm dealing with this where I wasn't a kid living with my parents or in a serious relationship where I lived with a partner. So the first few appointments that I would have and then come home to an empty apartment alone definitely brought some things up for me. And I quickly realized that like this was a prime example of me needing to lean on friends and family and kind of being proactive with reaching out and saying like, hey, I'm waiting for results back. Like, I need to go for a walk, or I need to like decompress about this. So that was definitely moments where I felt this longing for a partner and realized like, oh, I could actually, find that same support from friends or family. The other time recently that came up was I was dealing with some business things, the kind of moments where it's like, okay, you're reaching a new level, and with a new level of business comes more stressful situations. And this in particular was one where I was potentially going to need to take legal action, and I very much was having this moment where I knew it was the right move, but I felt sort of like an asshole. I think that's probably also just part of being a woman and setting boundaries when it comes to business. And for some reason, I really wished I had a partner to like reassure me or tell me that I was making the right decisions. And the reality is, when I was thinking about it, is just that I wasn't trusting my own instinct and gut, and I didn't feel like I could make a decision for my own business without needing to like pulse check from someone. And to be clear, I think it's very important and valid to get insights or kind of bounce an idea off of someone you respect. But in this case in particular, like I just wasn't trusting myself. So a prime moment of me kind of realizing like I don't actually need a partner in this situation. I just need to have more faith in my own decision making. So those are two moments recently where I've kind of had the realization that like I can love this chapter of being alone and also have moments where I'm like, you know what? It would be nice to have a partner to deal with this or to like experience this with, and that there's so much merit, and comfort's not the right word, but there's a sense of relief in accepting that two things can be true at once, and you can hold two truths at the same time. You can love, spending a Friday night alone, and then the next Friday wish that you were going out on a romantic dinner date with someone, and that it's perfectly normal and totally okay. The second thing that'll change your life when it comes to dating, relationships, being single, is to stop waiting for this person to actually do the things you want to do. For a while, I felt like I can't make certain moves or take certain trips or pivot in my career without having this partner. Like, I don't know why I viewed it as like, okay, step one is this, and then I'll be able to do X, Y, or Z. But I really came to the realization that like, I'm not gonna wait around for a partner to do the things I want to do, specifically when it comes to travel or adventures or exploring the city I live in or even new cities. And I think when you can realize that like your life is happening right now and your life isn't going to begin when you have that person, game changer. Because you kind of move out of this like sitting or like waiting on the sidelines, and you become the main character or like the driver of your life. If you can't tell from my energy, I get so like fired up about this topic because it is probably like the thing to my core that I am the most passionate about, is empowering women to not wait for a partner to do the things they want to do. In sharing that mission on social media, I have witnessed through other people as well how transformational that mindset shift is. Like night and day. It's so cool to watch, and I just feel like I kind of view it as this trickle-down effect where if more women live their life that way, other women kind of see what's possible and they start to have the realization themselves. And I just feel like more and more women will be kind of like operating out of that place. And I love that. I love that so much. The other thing that has given me this like quiet reassurance in kind of trusting the timing is when I look at how things have evolved in my life, how I met my friends, how I've gotten career opportunities, how I've met people professionally or had like professional things unfold. Like I have absolute faith and trust in the timing of how my life is supposed to unfold. Like when I look at my friends, I met them at the exact moment that I was supposed to, whether that's like when I moved to Boston or when I was solo traveling to Paris. Like I just have this faith in that like I will meet my person when I'm meant to. And in the interim, like I have to live my life and go do the things that I enjoy and put myself out there by trying new things and finding new activities. But like I don't need to force it, because all of the good relationships and opportunities that have happened in my life have come to fruition like when they're supposed to. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo, but like, I don't know. I feel like over the last year, like seeing all of that happen in my platonic relationships just like has really given me this like ease and lessened my need to like white knuckle and make something happen. The other thing when it comes to trusting the timing of things and like the fact that they'll enter your life when they're meant to is knowing that like this phase of being single is eventually going to end. And even though you might feel like you subconsciously want it to end right now, years down the line you will reminisce and miss this chapter. So I'm really trying to stay as present as possible and enjoy it, because I do weirdly from time to time have these moments where I find myself like missing my chapter of independence and being single, and I'm like, but you don't have any prospects that would be like ending that. But it's like this weird like subconscious feeling of like missing something that is still happening. So I think that that is important to remember, that like this is a really special chapter that like anything in life like will eventually end. So be present and soak it all in right now. And in tandem with that, I think the other tip I would give is to stop feeling like you're in a rush, because to me, nothing is scarier than forcing something or like trying to rush through something. I've sort of adapted or come to this mindset where like I want to be very slow when it comes to dating, like in all different capacities. I want it to feel like it can naturally evolve. And I don't know if this is necessarily because like watching Heated Rivalry and seeing how long it took for the emotional intimacy to happen in that show, like I kind of feel like it like reassured the feeling that I had been having of like having that sort of like rush or adrenaline that happens with like the spark is one thing, but I think there's also something to be said about like letting a relationship or letting something that's meant to be like evolve over time and evolve at the pace in which it was meant to. Not feeling like, oh, I'm turning 30 soon, like I need to find someone, like rushing in that way of like feeling like I need to check things off a list, because let's be honest, I would much rather be single well into my 30s than settle for the wrong relationship. But then I think also on the flip side, not feeling like if you have met someone or you are exploring what a relationship could be like with someone, like not feeling like you need to like rush it to become something quickly. It can evolve over time. It can take like a few months to turn into something. And I've been really trying to like not make snap judgments on things and just sort of like taking in information as it comes and like letting it evolve or letting my feelings come to be with time. Because when I think about like friendships that I've made, like it's taken time for those friendships to really grow roots, and a relationship should be no different. Going back to what I said about being present because this chapter is going to end at some point, I think with that you can also remind yourself that like this is a time in your life to be selfish, because you can. You can set a 4 a.m. alarm and not worry about waking anyone up. You can leave some clothes on the bathroom floor because you're not, messing with anyone else's space. This is truly the time to be selfish and do the things that you want to do solely because you want to do them. And I think within this chapter of being selfish is learning how to really get to know and focus on yourself. Learn about your best qualities and also the qualities in you that like might need a little bit of shaping. I've got plenty of those. It's a really good time to get to know how you interact with the world, what excites you, what interests you, because I do believe that like the better you know yourself, the better you can figure out like who is going to make the best partner for you, because it is a partnership. And I think in also focusing on yourself and taking yourself out on solo dates and doing things alone comes this independence that sets you up for success when it comes to dating, because you view dating as like, what are you going to add into my life? Because my life is incredibly full as it is. So you're not feeling this like desperation to just like check a box and fill a void. Instead, it's like, my life is super fulfilled right now. Like, how are you going to add more excitement and adventures and like only make it better? Think about like the different phases of my life where I've been dating. This is the first time that I'm dating from a place of partnership and seeking like someone who can be a partner, as opposed to just like, does he like me? As someone who lived a lot of her life wanting people to like her, it's a very different mentality when you operate from this place of like, I have so many things happening and like obviously would love to share that with someone, but I don't need them to just like me. I need to know that this is going to evolve into some sort of partnership. That, in my opinion, is a much healthier way to date. The last piece of advice, and probably the most important, is to live your life. I talked about this in the video I posted a little while back about like marriage and all of that, but I think when you are single, you can sometimes feel this pressure or this idea that like your life is going to begin when you find that person. And I don't know about you, but if I only have one chance to live this life, like I want every single day to be filled with excitement, joy, curiosity. So I think coming back to and reminding yourself, like, I gotta live my life now and not wait for a relationship to fill my life with excitement, joy, etc. is also really, really important. Because when I think about like when I would date in the past, when I was a lot younger, romance and love and dating was kind of like the roller coaster in my life. Like the exciting parts of my life were intertwined with dating and finding someone. And I think now what's really interesting is like when I call friends or when I'm talking to them, like I rarely mention like if I'm going on a date. Like I will here and there if they're standouts, but like the majority of the excitement or joy or curiosity in my life is all fixated on career things or personal development or travel that I've decided to take, and romance sort of feels like it's taking like a back seat. Those are the 6 tips that I feel like I have learned over the course of the last year plus. If you enjoyed this, I'm curious, let me know. It's interesting because I don't talk about dating in itself. Like I'm very adamant about never talking about like dates I go on or anything like that. Like that to me is sacred. However, I do love having conversations and discourse around like being single and finding the joy in that, because I feel like there's not enough conversations happening about that, and I think it can be really enlightening when you finally do find spaces or people where you can have those. Let me know your thoughts. If I should talk more about this, let me know that in the comments as well. Happy belated, because this is obviously not going out on Valentine's Day, but happy Valentine's Day, and I will see you in the next one.